I could complain. Hey there, this is the One Boom, and today's video is going to be very simple. While I was messing around against some bots in a private match, I was trying to warm up my aim, I decided to use some weapons that I believe need a nerf. I'm 2 seconds into editing this, and I already messed up and said nerf instead of buff. That might happen later too. And I thought, hey, I could record this and turn it into a topic about these weapons. The fact that it's bot gameplay sort of harkens back to when I used to do the worst guns and FPS history videos, where I would fight the easiest possible opponents in that game to showcase just how bad the weapon is even against bots. But really, these weapons aren't terrible, and I do want to put a little bit of a disclaimer here. The weapons that I'm about to showcase aren't unusable. So many people seem to think I think a weapon is unusable or actually not worth using at all, when I just think it needs a buff or a change, or I find it irrelevant in the meta. It's like an iPhone, just because they work doesn't mean I want to use them. Anyway, moving forward, the first weapon I have to talk about is the SAT7. I don't know if this gun needs a buff or an absolute rework, but it does not belong in the LMG category. The weapon deals strong, consistent damage, that is for sure. But it has way too little base ammo and way too slow movement speed for it to be a competent assault rifle or a competent LMG. In the assault rifle category, it would be something like a SCAR or an Odin or an AK, a heavier end assault rifle. As an LMG, I don't know, I would much rather use the PKM, I would much rather use the MK9, but I think what could really sell me on the SAT7 is if it had a barrel attachment similar to that of the Holgers. The Holger has a barrel attachment that simply speeds up the gun without hurting your recoil control at all. Both of the SAT7's shorter barrels hurts its accuracy, and that's why I don't like using them. The SAT7's only purpose in the game right now is being turned into a very accurate, consistent 3-shot killing machine. Even if you build this thing for absolute aim down sight speed, it is still not going to be good. You can't take the stock off of it because it's a bullpup weapon. So here's what they should do. They should take the 18.2-inch factory barrel and remove the recoil control con from its list of pros and cons. That way you'd get better movement speed, better aim down sight speed, with no hindrance to your recoil control. Then what they need to do is reduce your visual recoil when firing the weapon, which would make it so the iron sights aren't quite so bad, which would mean one of my attachment slots wouldn't have to go to an optic every time, because they kind of do. And then its default mag size should be 35 or 40 instead of 30. This would allow the SAT7 to be turned into more of a battle rifle, a heavier assault rifle in the LMG category, in the same way that the Holger is sort of able to be turned into an assault rifle within the LMG category for whatever reason. Because right now when I use this weapon, I feel the need to use a larger magazine, I feel the need to use recoil controlling attachments, I feel the need to use an optic, and I feel the need to use sleight of hand. Otherwise the weapon just feels too slow, and I just wonder, why am I not using a different weapon in this category or the assault rifle category? So that's the weapon I think should be buffed, sort of reworked a little bit. Let me know what you think. Also, you've been noticing probably in the gameplay I keep pulling out the 357. As a bonus, I do think the 357 should have less visual side-to-side recoil. I don't mind the straight up and down, I don't like the weird kind of veers to the left and right as I'm shooting quickly sort of deal. But that's a different video for a different time. The next weapon is the Dragunov. I really hate this thing. I hate how much it kicks even if I put all recoil controlling attachments on it, and if I pile on a bunch of recoil controlling attachments, it just sort of feels like an AX50, and then I might as well just use the AX50, and that's why this is a pretty simple gun to talk about. Yes, you can put the sight on somebody, pull the trigger on their upper chest, and get a kill, and that's all fine and good, but why wouldn't you just do that with a different sniper rifle? Because anybody who's used the Dragunov knows, if you fire 2 shots quickly, that recoil is ridiculous. And I mean ridiculous for that even happens if you have the extended barrel and a compensator and the bipod on. And then the game has the audacity to let you build this thing for aggressive play, but its fire rate is nowhere near fast enough for that. So in my opinion, there are 2 different things that Infinity Ward can do with the Dragunov. So number 1, speed up all of its handling traits so it's a much lighter rifle, and speed up its fire rate. Or leave it the way it is currently and practically reduce its recoil to non-existent. If you do reduce the recoil to practically non-existent, lower the fire rate by another 25 to 50 RPM. It would fire even slower, but at least you could land consecutive shots, and then it serves its role as a semi-auto one-shot killing sniper rifle, with its semi-auto feature not feeling like a waste of time, or just speed up its fire rate by a lot and increase all of its handling traits. That way, it's a lightweight, speedy sniper rifle that can get one-shot kills, but the recoil will go out of control if you spray too many times. What I want to be able to do with this weapon is be able to fire 2 shots very quickly and compensate that recoil a little bit more smoothly with an aggressive sniper, or make it a more conservative sniper that fires a little bit slower but doesn't kick like a mule. Either reduce recoil and fire rate, or increase movement speed and fire rate. Let me know what you think about that down in the comment section below, and we'll move on to our next one. The last weapon on the list that I think needs a buff is the M4 with SOCOM rounds. The M4 with SOCOM rounds is a bit appalling. Yes, it's capable of getting a quick kill in full auto at mid-range, but its shots required to kill at a distance is too damn high for the amount of ammo in this mag. With the Marksman Barrel and Commando foregrip, you can pretty much reduce all recoil. You should be fine in that department. But if you try to use this thing as a sniper rifle, as a DMR, you're going to have trouble because you should be using the EBR or the SKS or the Odin. Like, if you have to use a weapon that needs 2 shots to the head to kill at a distance, you might as well just use the SCAR. This entire conversion kit should turn the weapon into a formidable battle rifle or DMR, but it just feels like it's an unfinished conversion kit. Its shots to kill and ammo doesn't help it at long range, its shots to kill and ammo doesn't help it at close range, so I have a pretty simple solution. Keep the damage, range, and recoil profiles all the same, but increase the magazine size to 20 or even 25, or you should decrease the recoil and increase the damage and damage range while keeping the magazine size the same. I think the one-shot headshot range should be around 40 to 50 meters. After that, I should take 2 headshots and then maybe 3 body shots. But that would make it a very, very formidable DMR or battle rifle, depending on whether or not you want to build the gun for long range or build the gun for close range. I don't mind getting one shot in the head by an M4 if I know that guy only has 10 rounds and probably has to reload after every gunfight. Ammo capacity is a big deal in this game because some guns have 50, 60 round magazines and they can just keep shooting. They can miss 30 rounds on you. Get this through your heads. Some people have disagreed with me about this. When somebody has 60 rounds in a 800 round per minute rifle that can kill potentially in 3 shots, they can miss half of their magazine and still have 30 chances to hit you and 10 chances to kill you after missing half of their magazine. So either 10 rounds of very powerful ammunition that can one-shot headshot at, let's say, 45 meters, 2-shot body shot at the same range, and then past that it turns into a 3 body shot, 2 headshot. It's still a very good, mid-long range DMR battle rifle, depending on how you want to build your gun, like I said. Or just increase the magazine size. Just make it a 20, 25 round magazine so that I can use it as a competent assault rifle. The Odin can be converted into a DMR and still have a 30 round magazine. The SCAR can 2-shot headshot, I'm pretty sure, at every range in standard core mode, and guess what? It can also have 30 rounds. So what the hell is the point of the SOCOM? I want the SOCOM to be a worthwhile conversion kit. Let me know what you think about that down in the comments section below. Yeah, keep it the way it is, increase the capacity, or leave the capacity the way it is and increase the damage. So before this video ends, let's summarize everything that I want. I think the SA7 needs to have a short barrel that doesn't hurt its recoil control and a larger default magazine. Couple that with less visual recoil, and I think the S87 would be in a way better spot than it is now. I think the Dragunov should either have a lower fire rate and lower recoil, or a higher fire rate and faster movement speed. And the SOCOM rounds, I believe, should either have a lot more damage or a lot more capacity. And I wish the 357 didn't shake around in my hand so much, but that's sort of neither here nor there. It's not really what the video's about. But either way, now I want to hear from you guys. What weapons do you think need a buff, and which of my buff ideas do you agree with or disagree with? Let me know down in the comment section below. I will see you when I see you guys. Goodbye. 10-minute mark, boys. That really just came right back down into my leg. Don't play with Nerf guns.